What's good, guys? We're back at it again with another video. Man, if you guys have been checking out my community tab, if you haven't, go check it out. Again, this is where I post updates on things that's going on in my life, when I'm going to post the next video, who it's going to be on, things like that. But if you checked it, you saw that, I've started coaching our high school team while also still helping out with our prep. So I've been a lot busier than I have been over these last couple months. Haven't been able to get out as many videos as I would like to. But for the rest of this month, February, the plan is to get about 2 to 3 videos out a week. And then starting back in March, that's when we get back to regularly scheduled programming, about 3 to 5 videos a week. But today, we got a Kyle Filipowski breakdown with Kyle. Right, he's also class of 2022. With Kyle, when I made my top 10 for 2022, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. When I first made it, I saw his name, but across the websites, no one could agree on where he should be at, right? So with certain players, they're, solidified top 10 on every website you go to, they're going to at least be somewhere in that top 10. With him, I might see him at 8 on this website. I might see him at 15 here. I might see him on 20 on another one, or I might see him at 3 on another website. But now, with these updated rankings that just came out, Kyle is currently number 5 in the class of 2022 on ESPN, number 3 on 24/7, and number 2 actually on Rivals. And those rankings just came out yesterday. So when I saw all of this, I'm like, okay. I only watched a little tidbit when I was first watching him when I saw his name, because I'm like, okay, I pretty much know who I want in my top 10. Let me just take a peek at this kid. Is there something that's going to pop that makes me want to watch more, that makes me want to put him in there? I watched it. Obviously, I didn't watch enough, but watched a little bit. Okay, I'm like 6'10", power 40. You can put it down a little bit, shoot the ball. Okay, like he looks pretty good. But this top 10 that I'm looking at, that I have in my top 10, I think they're probably, I think they are better than him, right? Now, when I saw him climb up these rankings like this, I'm like, okay, well, obviously something has shaken up over these last couple weeks to make him jump up the rankings like this at this rate, because it usually doesn't happen, especially this late. It's literally already February and he's jumping up the rankings again, like this late. It usually doesn't happen. So I was definitely interested in that. Like I said, 6'10" power forward, committed to Duke. So he's going to have a lot of eyes on him next year. I think he's actually projected to get drafted already. So I'm definitely interested in that. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. 6'10" power forward, Duke commit, Kyle Filipowski. Kyle is a solid shooter who can knock down threes if you give him any type of room from distance. He also moves extremely well for his size and does a great job running the floor, which constantly gets some easy dunks like this. This is a big-time sequence from him, first being able to guard a quicker player that he was switched on to and ended up getting the stop. Once he gets the rebound, Kyle doesn't need to wait for a guard. He can push it himself and makes an on-target pass off the dribble for the finish. It is pretty rare to see players this size be able to make plays out of ball screens, get to the rim for easy lays. With decent defensive instincts, Kyle's pretty active in passing lanes, and as I said earlier, he's pretty fluid in transition. Kyle is a pretty solid athlete. If you make that choice to jump, you know what it could be. There aren't many 6'10" and above ball players coming off ball screens, much less making reads like this. Watch as how Kyle comes off. He's able to lift the big, which allows him to drop it off to his teammate for the easy finish. I want to remind everyone that the person handling the ball is 6'11" with a point guard on him, still being able to get to the rim and finish around the new #1 player in the class of 2022, Derek Lively. For these next 5 possessions, I just want to show you guys what type of deceptively good athlete that Kyle is. Even though he might not have been guarding him, I want everyone to notice exactly who was on the court for all of these plays. Okay, so Kyle. So first we're going to start off just talking about something that kind of threw me off when I first saw it, right? We're going to talk about this 6'10", 6'11" basketball player. He looks more 6'11", like I said, but when I first saw him bringing the ball down the court, and then coming off a pick and roll, calling for a screen and coming off pick and roll. And this is a player who, you can see it on film. He's a big. He's not a wing. He's not a shooting guard. He's not a point guard. He's a big. But just to see him bring the ball down the floor, handle it, come off a pick and roll, and still be able to create for himself and his teammates at 6'11", I don't care if it is at the high school level, because at the next level, he probably won't be able to just bring it down whenever he wants, call for a pick and roll. But just to see him be able to do that, And not against, not trash talent, things like that. No, he's playing in hoop hall. No, he's playing against the #1 player on ESPN. He's playing against Derek Lively. And I'm still seeing him bring the ball down, come off pick and rolls, make reads. He's good enough. Let's just get into his game, right? So for him, start off, this is one of those bigs. I've said it, I don't know how many videos I've said it in. What the league wants, the next evolution. They want 6'8" and above basketball players who can make plays, who can do everything. 5-tool players like Scotty Barnes, players like Bam, players like that, players that, even though they're taller, they can still handle the ball if you need them to. They can still pass the ball if you need them to. They can score if you need them to. Like, they can do everything on the floor. Kyle's kind of like that. So for him, obviously, he can knock down that three. He can pick and pop. He can make plays out of that. Pretty solid shooter you saw. Now, it might not have, I think it was in maybe the second game, he didn't shoot it as well as he did in hoop hall, but he was still extremely effective just getting downhill, things like that. He's showing that he can put it down, so he's going to be, especially in college, when he gets to that next level, he's going to be pretty big mismatch, especially once he gets it at the high post, just driving if you put him in ISOs from the high post, things like that, or just pick and pop on a cleared side. When he has a 5 on him, he's going to be able to get by him, get busy, get by him, and finish, things like that. Like I said already, pick and roll. Like, again, when he gets to the next level, or, if he does eventually get to that 3-letter league, he probably won't be able to just come off pick and rolls like that, because there are players that are, specified in doing that. But just to see his ability to be able to come off and be as much of a scoring threat that if I even look at the rim, that big has to lift, and he has the ability to drop off that pass. This kid can pass too. He makes read out of pick and roll. He can get it and push it in transition. And you saw he made a off the dribble, which is way harder than people think. Off the dribble pinpoint pass to his teammate in transition, things like that. This dude rebounds the ball. You saw how active he is on the glass, getting put back dunks. This man is sneakily athletic. He's sneakily athletic, right? So when I first turned it on, I'm like, yeah, I'm watching him move up and down the floor. I'm like, yeah, like he looks pretty good. Like, he can move, things like that. Then he started dunking on people, right? And we've done a lot of breakdowns. I've done a lot of the top players across all classes. Yeah, we got some dunkers here and there. There's been a lot of dunks in some of the breakdowns, but I can't remember, or it's been a while since I've had a player that made me have to make an entire montage of just dunks from a single game. From a single game, I don't know, I didn't count how many, but this dude dunked more than 5-6 times in one game. Like, I'm talking about off putbacks, off drop-offs, off everything you want, and he's not just taking off just from right under the rim. No, he's taking off from a little bit farther back. So this dude is also an athlete. If you want to jump with him, make a business decision, because you see every time he's in the paint, he's trying to dunk the ball. But one of the biggest reasons why I think he got up these rankings now is because this dude has played on primetime stages, and he putting up numbers. Not just regular numbers. No, he putting up numbers. He putting on a show, right? So like I said, when he played in hoop hall, obviously everything was going for him. He's looking amazing. He's doing everything, clicking on all facets of the game, making shots, being able to put it down, finishing at the rim, things like that, getting in passing lane, steals, doing all that, right? But when I go to that next game and I see him play the #1 player in the class of 2022, Derek Lively, a 7-footer, a known shot blocker, a known defender, and I'm seeing him play him, and I know, and I'm watching the game, and I'm seeing, okay, Kyle's shot isn't falling like it was in hoop hall. How is he going to respond? How does he play when his 3 isn't falling? When I see him, like I said, when I see him bring the ball down and still be able to create for himself. When I see him, okay, my shot isn't falling, let me go get some putbacks. Let me go get some easy ones. When I'm seeing him, like, I don't care, like, I'm a competitor when I play, and I'm a big too. So when I'm a big, and if I'm Lively and I'm #1 in 2022, and I see this player on the other team who's ranked #5 now, and we're both bigs. Okay, he handled this a little bit more than Lively, but we're bigs, and Lively's a known defender, and I don't care. He's on the floor, so at some point he should have been guarding him, right? I didn't see that happening, which let me know that there's I don't know if Lively, the coach wanted him to guard somebody else, but what I'm seeing is he was not guarding Filipowski, and obviously that's got to be for a reason, right? So when I'm seeing that, I'm seeing the competitor in him. Like, this dude can go. He can go. Like, again, the league wants it. The league wants it. You're seeing it with Walker Kessler at Auburn. You know what I'm saying? At UNC, he didn't play that well. He was known as a shot maker. A big who can knock down threes. But he goes to Auburn, all of a sudden he's showing, okay, he can finish at the rim. He can block shots. He can do a lot of different things on the floor. He can make passes. Now, all of a sudden, he's projected. I think he was projected to be undrafted, leaving UNC. Now I think he's projected first-round pick. Same thing with Kyle. This kid can shoot the ball. Again, he's not going to be a primary ball handler at the next level, and if he does make it to that 3-letter league, but he's going to be able to, in situations where you put a slow-footed 5 on him, make plays for himself, things like that. He can make the extra pass. He can get it off the glass, push it in transition, make the pass, kick ahead pass. He can, let's just say he picks and pops. He can make the 3. Pick and roll, he can get that pass in the middle of the floor. Let's just say the defender comes over, he can make that extra pass to the corner that not a lot of bigs can make. Right? He can do almost everything you want to on the floor, which plus that competitiveness streak, and the fact that he played the number 1 player and put up numbers on him and still got the win against him lets me know, okay, this is why this player is just jumped up these rankings this fast and this late. But all in all, again, when he gets to Duke, I'm excited to see how that transition goes. His body, he looks like he's still got to get a little bit more in shape, but he has the size already. He's not a twig. He got some size already. Like I said, he can move. He's competitive. I saw him switch out on some guards on defense, moving his feet, things like that. So I think the way his game's going to translate is going to translate well. So I'm excited to see what he does in the future. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Appreciate you guys watching. Remember, if you want the one-on-one evaluations, subscriber breakdowns that get posted on the channel just like this one, hit my website, like I just said. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys next time with the next video.